Hello, iml students. Today we are going to learn about leveraging and lots. Before we get started, here's a little bit about myself. My name is Adeze Duncan, representing iMarkets Live. Some of you may know me from Forex 101 on IML TV. Also, I was an educator for 10 years, and now I'm here educating you on the facts and methods of Forex. In order to get started on this journey, you need to remember one thing and one thing only. I am a student, always. This is very important for you to remember and to remind yourself of often. You will hear me use this phrase frequently as a reminder that you are a student that is learning a skill that will pay you for the rest of your life. Make sure that you take your time and learn what you need to learn. Pace yourself. Do not compare yourself to anyone else's progress. Always keep a winning mind frame and you will do very well in this industry. Upon finishing this video, you should have a very good understanding of the following questions. Read through them quietly to yourself. As you are taking notes, make sure to pause this video in order to answer these questions. Before we go into the lesson, I want to actually talk about some very relevant vocabulary. So please make sure you take some good notes on these vocabulary words. Now let's recall what a pip is before we actually get to talking about leverage. Remember, a pip is the change in price and an exchange rate. Remember that movements occur to the fourth decimal place out. So these are very small movements. I'm going to talk about this more shortly. Let's also recall how you profit. Remember, you're buying and holding. So you're capitalizing on the difference in exchange rates. You buy an exchange rate at a certain price, and then you turn around and sell it at a different price. These exchange rates change in the form of pips. That's how we measure it, similar to how we measure time in minutes. In order to make some money, you're going to have to purchase a large amount of units of currency. Remember, guys, you're purchasing rates, units of currency in the form of pips. So you'd have to purchase a large amount of currency. So I have an example here. Let's say you bought the Euro USD at 1.10895, and then you decide to cash out at 1.10973. Now that's actually a difference of 7 pips. So think about it. If you only came to the market and you were able to buy up enough to make 7 pips off the market, you would have made 0.000078 cents, which is pretty much nothing. So you would have to come to the market with quite a large amount of money. Looking at that difference of 7 pips, how much money would you actually have to come to the market with in order for it to be worth something? So let's say you invested $1 into the Forex market. On $1 and you gained 7 pips, $1, okay, you would get 0.000078 cents. It's really nothing. If you invest $10 of your own money into the market, now you're at 0.000, oh wait, hold on a second, I'm looking. You get it, 0.078 cents, okay? And then what if you come with $100? All right, finally you're in the race. You've just made almost 8 cents in the market. If you invest 100 of your dollars, you just had a return of about 8 cents. If you invest $1,000 of your own money on 7 pips that you've gained, now you have just made 78 cents. Whoop-de-doo, right? $10,000. Now you've made $7.80. If you come to the market with $100,000, now you've made $78. That's really not a very good return on investment. You understand that now. Now you see why, in order to get into the Forex market long before internet and all these online brokers, you would have had to come to the table with a lot of money. Most investors did not come with anything less than $100,000. That's even laughable. Nothing less than $500,000. You would have had to invest some serious money, ongoing money, to be able to reap those good returns. One thing I want you to notice where you actually started to make money. You actually started making money around $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. There actually is a name for those numbers, for those numbers. So now this brings me to lots. This is one of those vocab terms. What is a lot? A lot is referring to a contract being made of a certain size, aka those sizes that I was just talking about. You purchase them in bundles of units called lots, and they're standardized contract sizes, okay? So it's no different than if you wanted to buy, say I have this pitcher of water. If you wanted to buy some water, a 32 pack, and you go to the store, you can't just say, I want to just buy one of those water bottles out of 32. You have to buy the whole bundle. So now what your online brokers have done is they've gotten together and they've created standardized contract sizes in the form of lots. So these are the lot sizes that I was talking about. These are standardized contract sizes. So you have a standard lot, which is 100,000 units, a mini lot, which is 10,000 units, a micro lot, which is 1,000 units, and a nano lot, which is 100 units. Okay? So remember when I showed you that screen, you didn't really start actually making any money off of 7 pips until you got to around $1,000. So that's why people now buy them. Like instead of saying, I want 10, let me just get 10 lots, let me get a little small 10 piece. You're not going to do that anymore. Not in the Forex market. It takes money to make money. Looking at this screen, you can see how lot sizes can correlate to the profits and losses. So a lot of people get very excited about standard lots because at $100,000, you're now able to make around $10 per pip. At a mini lot, you're able to make about $1 per pip. At a micro lot, you're able to make about 10 cents per pip. And at a nano lot, you're able to make about 1 cent per pip. Most standard size accounts will only let you trade between a standard lot and a micro lot. You would have to get a special account in order to trade nano lots. Those are pretty much trading pennies. You're actually making pennies off of a pip versus 10 cents per pip. Something else I wanted to point out was that column that says volume. Instead of going to your MetaTrader 4, you're not going to see 100,000 units. You're going to see something that says volume, or it might not even say volume. It's just going to show decimals. Those decimals stands for volume. If you put 1.0, you are now purchasing a standard lot. If you do 0.10, you're purchasing a mini lot. If you do 0.01, you're purchasing a micro lot. And you get it, so on and so forth, okay? So make sure you have that right. 1.0 does not mean you're going to be making $1 per pip. That means you are purchasing a standard lot. So you want to make sure you're very attentive to that area. That is the #1 area where people lose a lot of money because they either, one, enter things the wrong way, or they don't fully understand the importance of risk management, which we will teach you going forward. This is what it looks like on a computer for those of you who like to trade off of the computer. What I was talking about with volume, that 1.0 right there, that means that person is trading using a standard lot. You can change it. It doesn't just have to be 1.0. It can be 2.0, which now means you're getting $20 per pip. It can be 5.0, which means you're getting $50 per pip. Here's what it looks like on a phone. And I really just included only one. So you've got, this is an iPhone, but it looks very similar on an Android. It doesn't actually say volume. It's more of just a decimal. So in this situation, this person is trading with 0.05, which means they're going to be making 50 cents per pip. Okay, does that make sense? If they had 0.08, that means they're making 80 cents per pip. So they're basically trading with a micro lot or with 5 micro lots. If you're trading with 10 standard lots, that means you're going to be making $100 per pip. If you're trading with 10 micro lots, well, that's pretty much your now you're trading with a mini lot. So anyhow, you get it. So now that we know what types of contracts are which, let's go back to our scenario where you made 7 pips out of the market, okay? When you look here, remember, on a standard account, you cannot trade anything less than $1,000. Why? Because you're going to be making pennies. And then after that, you're not going to be making really anything. So that's why there's only these standard contracts, such as micro, mini, and standard. And remember, on a micro account, a micro contract, you can make 10 cents per pip. So in this situation, it makes sense that you made 78 cents, all right? Because, it goes by 10. So you take your 7 pips and you multiply it by 10. On a mini contract, you can make dollars per pip, $1. So in the event that you happen to go up 7 pips, that makes sense that you made $7.80. Now remember, on a standard account or standard lot, you can make $10 per pip. So it makes sense that when you've made 7 pips out of the market, if you take 7 times 10, you've now made $78 per pip. Now the real question, you might be sitting here scratching your head and asking is, so do I really need to bring $100,000 or more to start trading? Well, yeah, duh, of course you do. Just kidding. You make sure you always read the fine print. No, you do not need to bring $100,000 or more. And there is one main reason, one superpower in the online market, and that superpower is referred to as leverage. Oh, sorry, that's my amazing music. Sparkle, sparkle. It's leverage. Leverage is what allows you to bring whatever money that you can bring together to the market to be able to trade with the big boys. Let's talk about this leverage. When you sign up with your broker, you were asked to select a certain leverage amount. You might have been told to select a 1 to 100 or 1 to 200. It goes all the way up to 1 to 4,000. So you selected something, most likely not knowing why you selected those. What exactly is leverage? Before I even go all the way into that, it's a strategy that allows you to use borrowed money, borrowed capital, to increase your potential returns. So you use leverage in the market, you use leverage when you're buying a house, you use leverage in real estate, you use leverage when you invest, period. It just makes more sense. You saw in the description, in the illustrations earlier, you could bring $100,000 and still only make $78. That's not exciting. That's not fun. You know, who wants that kind of return on investment? That's what you get from your bank, pretty much. In leverage, in order to be able to take part in leveraging, you would have to have a deposit. So you would have to come with some money. But your money is going to be more like a down payment than anything. Instead of having to come to the table with $100,000, now you can come to the table with a certain amount of money in order to be able to use that money to leverage more money. Now back to what I was talking about as far as, you know, when you selected that leverage when you first got into your broker. So for instance, let's say you selected a 1 to 200 leverage. That actually means that for every $1 in your account, your broker is going to let you leverage $200. So let's say you deposit $1,000. Now you have the ability to use up to $200,000. It's pretty awesome. So here's another example, another leverage example. So let's say you selected the 1 to 100 leverage. That means if you deposit $1,000, you now have access to up to $100,000. Remember, for every $1 you deposit, your broker will allow you to use 100. If you selected the 1 to 4,000 leverage, which is crazy, that would mean if you deposit $1,000, you would have access to up to $4 million. Sounds really tempting, doesn't it? Something I want to point out to you, though. Remember, when you selected your whatever leverage you selected, that's that leverage. So let's say you selected a 1 to 200 leverage. That would be considered your maximum leverage, meaning that is the most you can take out. That's like if you go to buy a house and you give them, $50,000, they loan you $300,000. It's not very wise to use all $300,000. It's not necessarily the best idea to do that. You want to give yourself some room to move around, to breathe. Especially if you're trying to renovate the house, you want to give yourself room to, for renovation expenses and whatnot. Your true leverage is what you actually use at any given time. So let's say you're approved to use up to $300,000, but you go and buy a house that's about $100,000. Now you still have a lot of room to move around, all right? It's not wise to use the max amount of leverage in any one trade. You can use all of the money, but as long as you diversify it, that's what you want to do. You want to be able to diversify. So never use 100% of your account in any one trade. Very bad idea. And here we go again with a review on our original situation. Remember, when you made 7 pips out of the market, if you want to really come to the market with $100,000, go for it. Make that $78. Woo-hoo. Yay. Or not. See, with leverage, now your ROI percent can increase. Having to deposit $100,000 with somebody else's money, you have the ability to grow your account significantly, much more than you would coming with your own money. Some people really like that, but honestly, it works really good when it comes to investing. It takes money to make money. Yay for OPP. So what do I mean by ROI? Return on investment, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. Let's say, remember, you deposit $100,000 of your own money, big baller, and make 7 pips. Your ROI percent would be 0.07%. Wah, wah, wah. Not really exciting. Now, if you deposit $1,000 of your own money and make 7 pips using a 1-to-100 leverage, which allows you to trade up to $100,000, your ROI would now jump to 7%. Much better. Look at that. You deposited less money and still come out with a better ROI percent. It only makes sense, and that's why leverage is amazing. I already said it earlier, but I will say it again. Leverage can be awesome, but leverage can hurt just as bad without proper money management. By now, you should have a good understanding of the following questions. Read them quietly to yourself, and when you are finished, go on to the next video in this series. Thank you so much. My name is Adeze Duncan, and remember, I am a student always.